Hello, everyone. In one way or another, the spread of COVID-19 is forcing all of us to change our daily routines. That might mean working from home, or it might mean planning how to close your business temporarily. Many of you are worried about your jobs, about paying the bills, about taking care of your kids. But know that we've got your back. We've already announced a whole range of measures to protect jobs and the economy, from new rules on employment insurance to financing for businesses. And today, we launched a $27 billion plan to help all Canadians get through these challenging and exceptional times. Combined with other measures, we're announcing a total of $82 billion to support our people and our economy. That's more than 3% of our economy. If you fall ill or have to self-isolate, but you don't qualify for EI or have access to sick leave, we'll be putting money in your pocket every 2 weeks.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and the voice you just heard is the voice of the president, or is a minister, the coordinator of Canada. Today we're talking about 5G, the C19, as the C19, and then the power tussle. There's a lot of information going around, especially in this part of the world, which is Africa, about this 5G network, the COVID-19, that a lot of people do not know anything about. In my own little way of seeking to find the truth about it, I've tried to search around and look for, or even put calls across or text messages across to several experts who are dealing with telecommunication and computer engineering in Nigeria, either to lend us their voice, their expertise to be able to explain about this. And so far so good. I have not been able to lay hold on any one of them. Either they decline or they not are very confident enough to associate with whatever it is we do on this planet. But I said, why not? You can do it yourself. So I started making a lot of studies and researches regarding this, because that's what a seeker will do. A seeker will not attach any biblical or Quranic interpretation to anything going around. You will be more free if you know how to go out there and search for the rudiment or the foundation of everything that you are hearing, and you do yourself a lot of service by helping your blood pressure and also being in the right light and the right spot when you know how to research for information. So there's a lot of things you do not know that is underlining the 5G, the COVID-19, and a lot of rumor and propaganda that is spreading across the world right now. You will do me a lot of favor by pressing your share button to let many people in your network know about this. I will be explaining these things not in a professional term. I will be explaining all of these things in a layman term, such that even an illiterate will understand everything I am about to say. Even the one who never went to school will be able to understand every single thing I am trying to say right now. So there will not be much of professional language and all of those things. So I broke it down. Now, here is what we need to now deal with. Let's get down to business right now. You see, there's no way you can expect people who live according to something that was written 10,000 before Christ, 2020 after the death of Christ, to be able to comprehend what is happening or what is going to happen in the future. You can't get your life stuck in living according to what has happened before the time of 1G, 0G. You can't be living according to that book and expect yourself to understand the concept of whatever the new generation of technology means. You get stuck in a book written 10,000 BC and you think you want to cope with what is happening right now. No, it can't happen. So you must understand that most of the people propagating the gospel of 5G is bringing coronavirus are really religious bigots. Most of them are religious folks. A lot of them are Christians. 90% of people who propagate this thing are Christians. And you will think they are educated. PhD holder among them MSc holder among them, people even living in diaspora are among them. You would think traveling abroad make you become wise, but it's so pathetic, and they are sending a lot of wrong signal to our people here in Africa. You know, I said my business is for Africans, not for other tribes or other race or other color. I love all mankind, but my passion is making sure that Africans get their right position in nature and universe. Now, what is 5G? What is 5G? This is a video you can send to your mother in the village. She will be able to understand it as long as she can hear English language. What is 5G? 5G means fifth generation of wireless communication. We are already working with wireless communication. Before, I was born in the era where there was wire communication. We are using Nitel in Nigeria, where you have to dial a phone, you have to dial it like this, allow you to come back, allow you to come back, and all of those things. So many people that will be listening right now do not know what that kind of a phone. If I give them such a phone, they will know how to deal with it. So whatever it is that you are using right now is a wireless communication. So 5G means fifth generation of wireless telecommunication, which means that we have the first generation, second generation, we have the 2G, we have the 3G, then we have the 4G wireless telecommunication. Now we are talking about the fifth generation of wireless communication, and whatever makes it look like a generation, that shows that before you know, with a blinking of an eye, the sixth generation is coming, seventh generation is coming, 10th generation is coming. There's going to be many generations of wireless communication. It is only African people that keep looking backward to their past generation and ancestors as a cause of their problem when people are moving forward. So we need to wake up. So it is a way faster than the LTE. It is a way faster than the LTE. What is the meaning of LTE? Sometimes you open your phone and your network is showing LTE. You never bother to know what the meaning of that is. It means long-term evolution. Long-term evolution, that's what LTE means. Long-term evolution, that is what LTE means. Now, if something is called long-term evolution and it is referred to as fourth generation, now we have the fifth generation that is way better than the long-term evolution. So we are telling ourselves that the possibility of mankind is limitless. We can't put a cap on ourselves. We can't put a cap on our possibility. We can't afford to say this is our limitation. The sky is not God, is not devil, is not death, is not afterlife, is not judgment, is not human being are limitless. So while we discover the long-term evolution, which is LTE, we thought we have arrived. We thought we have the best of the 4G, and then we are suddenly stumbling upon 5G now, which is the fifth generation. And if care is not taken while you are still holding on to coronavirus, CCC, Antichrist, the sixth generation will meet you, 10th generation will meet you. The only thing inevitable in this world is change, and if you are not changing, you better die now. You better die now if you are not ready to change. So if you are clinging on to what was written 10,000 years before Christ, or 20,000 years, or 2,000 years after the death of Christ, you are not part of this generation. So you can excuse us while we move forward with technology. Now, we said that it is a way faster than the 4G. You're already using 4G. You never bother to ask if it is Antichrist, if it is causing you diseases and all that. Now, while 4G emits data between 1 to 6 gigahertz, that's the way they measure the rate of transmission of data, the way they measure the transmission of data, how fast it is. Now, while 4G is emitting data or transferring data, or the speed, let me call the speed of the 4G is between the 1 to 6 gigahertz. Now, the fifth generation, which is 5G, will be transmitting data, or has been transmitting data between 20 gigahertz to 60 gigahertz, both on the mid, low, or high end. So whatever it is, you said your service is so low. What we mean by mid, high, or low end is that maybe, let's say, your network is so low, you cannot afford to go below the speed of 20 gigahertz, whereby the highest point of transmission for 4G is just 6 gigahertz. Just 6 gigahertz. While the lowest point of transmission for 5G is going to be 20 gigahertz. Now see what you're talking about. So we say that this 5G will be transmitting data 10 to not even twice, 10 to 100 times better than 4G. So the computer systems are now beginning to compete with human brain. So within a blink of an eye, whatever you click has gone. Now you might wait to see me now Sometimes you may see me on this phone right now. I'm transmitting to you. Some people might be getting it at a very poor speed rate. Some people, there are some things I cannot do with my computer with the fastest telecommunication in Nigeria. No matter how fast it is, I cannot do it on my computer and transmit to you because the highest speed of most of this network in Nigeria is so low compared to some people in other countries, and we can't work together. Just like while you were using phone, you realize that a phone that was made for 3G network cannot work with 3G SIM card. So things are evolutionalizing. We are evolving gradually. So what part of our lives is that we will always improve, and you should be happy that you are alive at this time of the history, that everything that has been said is now happening in your life. Why don't you take a very good corner in that with your big popcorn and watch how life plays its movie out? You should be grateful that you are alive in this point in time. So we're saying that this 5G is going to be 10 to 100 times faster than 4G. The lowest point of 5G network cannot be compared to the highest point of 4G network, because 4G network will be transmitting data between 1 to 6 gigahertz, while 5G network will be transmitting data between 20. Compare 6, the highest of 4G, to 20, the lowest of 5G, 20 to 60 gigahertz. So that's what we are dealing with. We are dealing with the future. The future came to meet us in the present. Why are we not embracing it? So we are talking about a situation whereby you will not need to travel much before you get business done. We are talking about a situation whereby you can hold your meeting so clear, people can almost appear to you on TV, on your conference call, whatever it is, as if you will be saving cost of money. There's going to be a cheaper way to now do business all across the globe. Everybody will be interconnected beyond what you can see right now. So now we're talking about the limitation. Let's move to the limitation of this 5G. While you need to worry now, the limitation of this 5G is, as beautiful as 5G is, it cannot travel so far because it is operating on high frequency of wavelength. It is operating on high frequency of wavelength. So the ability for it to penetrate into walls, into glass houses, into poles is very limited because it is too fast. It's not taking its time to penetrate into whatever it has to penetrate into. That is the reason why you'll be seeing more masts are the poles that are used to hold those telecommunication devices so that everybody can connect to it. That is the reason why you'll be seeing more masts of 5G network than that of 4G network or 3G network. Now you can have a 4G network mast very far away from you and everybody in the community can be sharing one mast. But because 5G network does not travel so fast and cannot penetrate so much, you have to have one 5G network mast at every 8 blocks of flats. You get the point? At every 8 blocks of flats so that everybody can be able to connect with it. Now, aside the fact that it has been established that this 5G network must generate or emit so much heat, the claim of it having a very radioactive or radiation to affect mankind life and the life of humanity has not yet been established or passed into final and say, okay, this thing they keep person. Aside the fact that it's going to be consuming a lot of electricity, natural power, or generating a lot of heat, the fact that it's affecting human life has not been fully, the research is still ongoing. We should wait for it. Of course, we pay dearly for every technological advancement that we achieve in life. The casualty of moving on the road is way lesser than the casualty of flying on the air. So if you want to evolve, you must be willing to pay the price also. But then this is not enough for us to now say we do not want 5G, because the benefit of 5G outweigh, very many ways outweigh the disadvantage of 5G. And you must recollect, you must also understand that it was merely being deployed last year, though it has been in development for several years. But yes, last year was when it was just deployed. Early last year was when it was deployed. So there will be so many limitations. We can build on it. We don't have to reject the future we are going into. We can build on it, manage it, make it worthwhile. There are so many disadvantages of 4G also in terms of radioactivity, but it was built upon and it is better for all of us right now. Now that's why I said we're talking. You do not know that is happening to you right now, and you are being used as a pawn in all of these things. You are the game that most of these power people are playing, and today I will reveal to you who your real enemy is. Now let's go on. That's the limitation of 4G. We have talked about the advantage of 4G. We have talked about the limitation of 4G. That's the reason why you'll be seeing it eight blocks per flat, where you'll be seeing this mast, which will be more than that of 4G, and it is not compulsory. Funny thing is that it's not compulsory. It depends on how fast you want to go. If you don't want to go fast, now the subscriber are subscribing to that kind of network willingly, just like till now while we're operating on 4G. Some people are still using 3G SIM card. Some people are still using 3G telephone, mobile telephone. It is not compulsory. It depends on what you use data for. Like someone like me that use data for broadcasting and video stuff a lot, if I see 5G in Nigeria, I'm going to get into it because I want to be able to go faster than this, lighter than this, clearer than this, and more sophisticated than this. But I can't because I'm limited to the 4G that is not even 4G at all in Nigeria. If your data can receive whatever I'm transferring, or I'm emitting, or I'm buffering, or streaming at your 3G, you can stay there. It's not compulsory. Everything in life is by choice. If you don't need it, you don't have to subscribe to it. Now we go on. What is the connection between this 5G and COVID-19 now? Remember, the explanation I'm giving to you are things that I try to research, and I make sure that I digest it in such a way that even a stark illiterate on the street can understand everything about this whole thing. What is the correlation between 5G and COVID-19? Now let's begin to now deploy our brain. Let me adjust my cap again totally. Your brain is now needed here. Your common sense is now needed here. If you have a pen or you have a paper, I will need you to jot some things down because you will not be able to comprehend it right away. You might need to go back to the data I will be sharing with you before you'll be able to understand fully the concept of what we are talking about now. Number one, 5G has been live in 378 cities across 34 countries since 2019. 5G network has been live. It has been deployed across 378 cities in over 34 countries since 2019. Now, most people are getting to know about 5G now, but this thing has been in existence since last year. It has been deployed over 378 cities across 34 countries since 2019. Now, while China was one of the first set of people to deploy 5G in their country, China also happened to be the very country where the novel coronavirus came out from. And while China deployed 5G in Wuhan, where the whole thing emanated from, Wuhan is not the very first or the only city in China where 5G network was deployed or has been deployed so far in China. Can I say that again? While China was one of the very first set of countries to accept the concept of 4G or 5G, and China happens to deploy this 5G mast and telecommunication in Wuhan, where coronavirus emanated from. Wuhan is not the only city where China government decided to deploy 5G network. Now, Wuhan still remains the center of this coronavirus till today. Meanwhile, Wuhan is not the only country, only city where there is 5G in China. I want us to begin to correlate right now. Some of the cities, I'm going to be reading my books now, some of the cities in China where these things were first deployed, the 5G network was first deployed. We have the Beijing, we have the Tianjin, we have the Hangzhou, we have the Nanjing, we have the Guiyang, we have the Chengdu, we have the Shenyang, several other names, up to like 57 cities in China currently right now have been deployed for 5G network. But Wuhan remains the center and the epicenter of coronavirus. Now, what are we dealing with here? Are we dealing with the fact that Wuhan also owed the Center for Exotic Animal Killing that is worth over $6 billion in investment? Are we suddenly looking away from the fact that in the same Wuhan where 5G has been deployed, the same Wuhan where it is not the only place where 5G has been deployed, is the same one that has the exotic market for animals? Are you getting my point? They have exotic. Everybody is talking about 5G as the cause of coronavirus, for heaven's sake. Suddenly people are not looking at the fact that Wuhan have this big market for exotic animals, animals that should not be eaten, and they still retain it. But we are quick to hold on to 5G. Everything that looks like development and the future get us so scared, and we are easily attaching the mark of the beast, the coming of the Antichrist, the coming of Jesus, the rapture to it. I trust that when the Spanish flu broke out in 2018, nobody was so daft as we are daft right now to attach it to the coming of any Christ or the Antichrist sign of 666. How is it that the more human being progress, the more daft we become? Because religion is taking its rightful place in our midst. Now, Wuhan retains the capital where exotic animals are being slaughtered every day. They have reopened market even today. They are still running market. Wuhan is not the only place in China where 5G is located. And China is not, let me give you a shocker, China is not the first country to deploy 5G network. As a matter of fact, 5G network is not a brainchild of Chinese company. It is a Japanese company that discovered 5G network. And the very first country where 5G network was deployed was South Korea. It was deployed in South Korea. The 5G network in China was deployed in November 2019. November 2019, 5G network was deployed in China. It looks like exactly the same time when coronavirus busted out. So the correlation and the cause is not the same. You and I can be thinking alike, but we are not the same set of people. While China deployed their own 5G just November 2019 there, South Korea has been running on 9G since April 2019. South Korea has been running on 5G since April 2019. And we didn't hear any noise from them about coronavirus. So how suddenly do we now attach coronavirus to 5G network deployment? Are you sharing this video? Please let other people who do not have the knowledge get it, especially the religious people, so that we can save ourselves the embarrassment of the public. Unfortunately, we have discovered in this time and age that it is not only African people or black people that are illiterate, that are educated but still illiterate, that are very ignorant. Even white people, even the very Chinese people are being used as pawn in this old conspiracy theory. Because I don't understand why we wake up one day and we chose to be living in the past when the future is staring at us. Like I said earlier, China barely deployed their own 5G in several countries, in several cities of China, up to 57 right now, just November 2019. While Wuhan remains the capital city of coronavirus, where the whole thing came out, with their exotic animal market, South Korea has been using 5G network since 2019 April. And the very incident of coronavirus in South Korea was one particular patient called patient 31. Have you read about patient 31? You have not read about patient 31. I posted the video some time ago. You can go online and just type patient 31. Patient 31 had recently just come from Wuhan, which is China, into South Korea. And instead of patient 31 to report to quarantine, or is it quarantine, yeah, or quarantine, whatever you call it, quarantine herself, patient 31 keep moving around. Do you have headache? Do you have fever and all that? Patient 31 will not disclose. Just like the man who died in Lagos State Teaching Hospital today, having exposed a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses to this particular virus. while denying that he never had cough. Patient 31 went to the pub. Pub is a place where they drink alcohol, beer, and all that. Patient 31 went to church. Patient 31 was single-handedly responsible for the infection of over 5,000 people in South Korea. You will tell me now that maybe South Korea also have coronavirus. The coronavirus case that South Korea had was someone who came in from China. But 5G has been in existence in South Korea long before Chinese people deployed their own. Before the whole epidemic spread or became pandemic, 5G network has been in UK, has been in several countries without the case of coronavirus. So how do you now relate coronavirus, a virus, to technological advancement? Have you forgotten that viruses are things that are made of pathogen? They are living organisms. How daft can we be to compare living organisms with technological advancement? How suddenly did we become so daft and gone so crazy that we cannot even read between the lines because of anxiety and panic, or because of stark illiteracy? Do you get the point? Do you know what we are dealing with right now? That we have been fooling ourselves, making a fool out of ourselves. And somebody is playing the tune. Somebody is trying to use you against some set of people because they are drowning. People begin to shout so loud because they are losing. So who is losing here? Who is losing? So I'm going to show you, I'm going to be coming to you, I'm going to be coming at you with some tables. And I want you to follow me just keenly. I copied this table from Abiodun Adetula's page. Now, we're going to be dealing with top 10 countries. Top 10 countries. I realized that your former minister in this Nigeria, Femi Fani-Kayode, very daft man, a man that cannot be used as a prayer point for anybody to think like. Whenever they are not part of the government, they always talk rubbish. And you'll be wondering how this stark illiterate became minister, someone who studied abroad, became minister in this nation called Nigeria. Because we are our leaders are a reflection of who we are. Our leaders are a reflection of who we are. And there are so many of you that will come across this video who follow these men into and believe everything they say without going to find out the information for yourself. Is it so hard to use Google or to contact your friends abroad? Must you only have friends who are Nigerians, who are black like you? Mingle with people. That's the essence of social media. Walk around. There are different courses you could take online to broaden your horizon. Let's take a look at the top 10 countries with 5G network right now. That's why I said get your pen, get your paper, and let's lead them. The number one country with the most 5G city is South Korea. Like I told you, South Korea have started using 5G as early as April 2019. There was no case of coronavirus. China barely deployed 5G in November 2019 with the existence of the exotic animal market in Wuhan, and there was coronavirus. And don't you ever forget that coronavirus C19 is not the first time we're going to be hearing about coronavirus. Coronavirus has been in existence as far back as year 2003, only because it was contained and it was, so it was easy for someone like Bill Gates to make a forecast through data gathering. I do not know why everyone that tries to help you are the people you hate. Now suddenly you begin to take out your anger on Bill Gates, someone who have access to data. Now I'm a humanitarian person right now. Let's take a look at this. Let me even quickly address this. I do humanitarian works. You know me about that. There are some data I have access to that normal person like you don't have access to, because this is not your field of work. There are some information I have from the United Nations that you don't have. So when I come to you and I say, I need money for us to do these things, we are talking about the SDG. The details about the SDG, you do not know about it. So when I say, okay, right now, the most important problem that is facing us as a nation is safe and unplanned reproduction unsafe and unplanned reproduction. People begin to say, but we will die in the next 10 years if we leave Nigeria producing this way without the proper knowledge of reproduction. Now, I have access to that data. I know what that thing is doing to us. As at 1960, I want to tell you how someone like Bill Gates works. A humanitarian person is more wiser than you because we work with data, and our data is human being. And we try to forecast what will happen next, what is going to happen. The way human beings are behaving right now, what is the possible disease we will face in the future, our hygiene, our economy, our hospital, our health, and all that, what is likely going to happen. Let's begin to work towards it. That's how the humanitarian folks get data. It's not like we are trying to kill you. It's not like we are developing a vaccine to balance the planet Earth, to reduce population. We are not trying to kill you. We are trying to help you. But because we know what you don't know, you think we are your enemy. You think we are your antichrist. Now, 1960, the total population of UK by birth is 52 point something million. 1960. As at that time, the total population of Nigeria was 45 million. 1960, 45 million people in Nigeria. Fast forward to 2020, the total population of UK by birth is just 56 million. 56 million, which means they went up by 4 million people. Some died, some came. You know, I don't need to tell you. The total population of Nigeria as at 2020 is over 200 million official, not non-official census. Over 200 million people. Now look at the healthcare system, the food supply, the agriculture, the technological innovation of UK. Compare it to what we have in Nigeria. See how we will not die in the next 10 years if we keep reproducing at this rate. See how we will not die. Normal person don't take those conclusions. We don't know the knowledge of permutation and combination. You don't know how to permutate all these things, and because you are so full of I want to eat my own daily bread, I need to go out. You are so focused on yourself, you don't bother about your environment and what is happening to your ecological system and the current sphere where you have yourself. So all your politicians have their children abroad. All your politicians make sure their children have other citizenship. You keep wondering, you think it's about corruption. They are running away from you because you are actually setting yourself up as a nation to die and to fail. When our people begin to reproduce without plan, without sophisticated financial plan, and also sexual plan, we will die. When a grain of rice is coming and 7 people are waiting for it, when are we going to die? When will famine not kill us in Nigeria? Now, so if I forecasted that in so year there will be a great famine in Nigeria and I'm quite popular and it happens, you will tell me I'm an antichrist because I went to hoard food. Just because I have access to the data you don't have access to. The same way you are taking it out on someone like Bill Gates. See, if someone knows what you don't know, what I think you should do is to go and ask him, how do you know it? Not to start saying it's an antichrist, he will not die well and that. Either he will die well or he will not die well. It will not be your business. The man is enjoying his life here on earth. And if there's heaven or hell, it's left for him to find out. It's left for him to find out. Now let's go on. We are considering 10 cities or 10 countries with 5G network in relation to COVID-19. Get your pen and paper, write this down. South Korea is number 1. Remember I told you they have started using their 5G since April 2019. And there was no case of coronavirus. South Korea have 85 cities with 5G network. Heavily harmed 5G network, 85 cities. South Korea currently have 10,156 COVID-19 patients and only 177 died so far. Only 177 died so far, and they actually flattening their curve of infection right now. How you think technology advancement is related to virus pathogens, I don't know for you. I don't know for you. Now China is the second one. China is having 57 cities. Now compare 57 to 85. 57 cities with 5G network, heavily harmed 5G network. They have total case of 81,000 plus coronavirus infection and 3,000 plus death recorded so far. Now compare China with 57 cities with 5G and South Korea with 85 cities with 5G and compare the death. If someone should die more, Should it not be South Korea? Should it not be South Korea? Now we have USA with 50 cities having 5G network. 50 cities having 5G network. Total number of infected people as at when I'm talking to you right now is close to 300,000 people. Close to 300,000 people have been infected with coronavirus, but they have 50 cities with 5G. While China with 57 cities of 5G recorded only close to 80,000 coronavirus case, and their death is 3,000 plus. While the death of the number of people that has been recorded in USA is 7,000 plus. The most densely populated city or state in America cannot be as densely populated village of China. Have you considered that? The most densely populated city of USA cannot be as densely populated as the least populated village of China. We are talking about people who are over 1 billion people. So if 5G is the cause of their death, is the cause of coronavirus, they should be recording higher. We have the UK with 31 cities having 5G. They have just 38 cases of coronavirus as when I'm talking to you. And they have recorded 611 cases of death. People died so far in UK. Now, are we talking about management of a pathogen, or we are talking about lackadaisical attitude towards a virus that spread? Saudi Arabia is having 24 cities with 5G network, and they recorded just barely 2,000 cases of coronavirus. Only 25 people have died so far out of them. We have Spain with 15. We have Australia with 10, Germany with 10, Romania with 10 5G city. Now let's compare these two countries together. Germany is having 10 cities of 5G with 5G. Romania is also having 10 cities with 5G. Germany has recorded 91,000 plus cases of coronavirus. Romania recorded just 3,000 plus cases of coronavirus. Let's talk about their death now. In Germany, over 1,200 people have died so far in Germany. But in Romania, just over 100 people have died so far. They have the same number of cities with 5G. And their infection rate, death rate is totally different. Now let's talk about management. How people manage the cases that faces them. Now let's take a look at cities or countries that has not fully implemented 5G or have no 5G at all. I'm going to give you an example of 4. Let's talk about Belgium. Belgium has not fully implemented this 5G. Belgium has not fully implemented this 5G network that you say is the cause of coronavirus. Some you don't even see there. But in Belgium, as we speak right now, over 16,000 people are infected with coronavirus. No 5G. Over 16,000 people are infected with coronavirus. No 5G in Belgium. Netherlands. Over 15,000 people are infected with coronavirus. 5G either low or no. Canada. They have not fully implemented 5G. Some, you will scarcely even see them on top of the table. They have over 12,000 cases of coronavirus as we speak. What about Iran? Our wonderful Iran. No 5G at all. They have recorded over 53,000 cases of coronavirus. Is 5G still the cause of coronavirus? 5G and coronavirus, are they still related, comparing this data that you have learned now? Now we talk about a particular video that runs on the internet of Chinese people pulling down a certain mast. Now the mast you saw them pulling down is a surveillance mast. is a surveillance mast. And you know, there are some people who take their privacy so. There are bodies or organizations or associations campaigning against surveillance cameras. It's the surveillance camera that was being pulled down in that part of China. And that video you saw was dated as far back as August 2019. That was even before the outbreak of coronavirus. August 2000. Don't let the media mislead you. Don't let internet, those illiterate people, do not let them mislead. That's why I said be a seeker, be a seeker. Enough of this religion. Leave religion alone. Religion will not make you wise. Religion will make you so emotional and so sentimental. Everything you see, you say, let's attach spiritual eyes to it. You will be quoting the book of, you'll be quoting the hadith of, you'll be quoting until you quote yourself out of line. I say be a seeker. When you are a seeker, you have a pure mind and a neutral mind. Now suddenly you saw a video of Chinese people pulling down a pole, a mast, and you automatically felt it is a 5G mast. So it actually became an erst. In UK, people are burning down their own 5G. Now they said that they do now. Is it not yourself you are doing? When you refuse improvement and advancement, it's yourself you do. I'm telling you the truth, if that 5G comes to Nigeria today, I will be one of the first people to subscribe to it. Because I need it so badly. The 4G in Nigeria is messed up. And I will be glad to get on the 5G network. Even if there is a 15G or 5 million G, I'm ready to go there. Now, the pole that was pulled down August 2019. It is a surveillance camera pole. And people there are anti-surveillance monitor. You automatically said it is this, it is that. Now, currently, I saw a video online today. A certain city in USA or US government campaigning against TikTok. TikTok. Do you know TikTok? TikTok, that new app, that new application where people just have their phone and all that. Now they are starting to campaign against it because they said, see what their problem is about TikTok. Because they said it is collecting data. It is collecting data and submitting it according to the guidelines and the rules that governs tech company in Beijing. That TikTok is collecting the data of most of the teenagers and everybody watching it or using it to the Chinese people. Now, who are the perpetrator of this noise? USA are the perpetrator of this noise. Now, you begin to wonder how many mobile application that has been made in USA that collect the same amount of data and where the data is going to, and USA is not coming to tell you not to use the app. Are we using sense now? You will wonder how many application, mobile app that has been approved by the US government that accurately collect data, because when you log into one data and all that, they will tell you, do you want to sign in with your Facebook, with your this and all that, and they tell you they will collect data for accountability's sake. When people hack your Facebook account, when they hack your Instagram account and all of those things, how do you think you are able to retrace them back? If the company in charge of those apps are not collecting data. See, if I develop an app, I will collect your data, because when issue happen, I might be liable to pay you some compensation for not protecting your data. Do you get the point now? I might be liable to pay you some compensation for not protecting you. So the data you did not give to me, how can I protect it? If a third party is coming to now encroach or interfere or invade in that privacy, because your data is lying solely with me, I can be able to put antivirus or firewalls to bounce them back. But if you leave your data so floating, everybody can just gather it and just move on. And how do computers relate? How does computer communicate without the collection of data? They make it look as if it's a very new thing, but when they bring it to Africa, we take it so like we don't have sense that we can all those end user license. Do you read it before you press agree? It's not like when you download this application, they don't give you their terms and conditions. But because you are used to just pressing agree without reading the terms and conditions, if you not pay, you not download them now, why making a fuse out of the whole thing? The reason why I'm shouting is because I'm tired of the illiteracy level of an average Nigerian citizen or African citizen who went to school but is not educated. So USA is talking about TikTok, saying people should boycott TikTok. All of a sudden, you know, the same company is responsible for developing that Face app. People having fun. They blackmail it. The stuff went down. Now it's TikTok. Of all the excuses you can use to nail the Chinese people. Now it is not new that Chinese people are taking over the world economy. And this is the power tussle that is bringing about all of these propaganda. The Chinese people are taking over the economy. Now because they actually obtained some right over the 4G network, the Huawei technology, obtained it and all that. And Donald Trump went into a very brief of face-off with Boris for awarding that contract to a Chinese company instead of a US company, because they are trying to still figure out how to get the license for that 4G and all that as at that time. And because of that, it felt like whoever controls 4G, whoever controls 5G controls the world economy, because technology is the gold mine now. It's going to get to a point whereby your oil will not be useful anymore. Your cocoa will not be so useful anymore. But those who are in technology will be like those who are dealing with gold and diamonds. So he knows whoever controls 4G controls the world data. And whoever controls the world data controls the world money. So it's been on this particular path of blackmailing everything that comes from China. Now suddenly they said TikTok also. And suddenly they said most or all of the kits that are coming from China suddenly are testing positive to COVID-19. When have we started testing textile material for virus infection? Everything to boycott Chinese products and from Chinese are taking over. Whereas the USA is still struggling with its economy right now. People are getting out of job. They are down in the stock market. The forex trading is not helping them. But Chinese people has come out of this crisis. They've been able to figure out measures to contain it. And while they open their manufacturing companies and their businesses, they are taking over the stock market and all that. And all the USA could do while they are struggling with the coronavirus and all that is to blackmail the Chinese people and use you, African folks, against these people. So Jack Ma sent kits to Nigeria. And you guys started sending broadcast that should not be used. Just because it's coming all the way from Asia. Hello, Rose. Just because it's coming all the way from Asia. So you now begin to wonder, when will an average African man be wise enough to make up their mind? Now, this is a great opportunity for us to go into our manufacturing. We can create our own facial masks ourselves. And I look forward into a future whereby facial masks in the next 2 years is going to be like a designer thing. People will be investing money. Okay, my facial mask, you know, the way they turn it into a fashion craze and all that, because either we like it or not, coronavirus has come to change our lives forever. Social distancing will remain. Perimeters of getting close to people will now remain. Our children will learn this social distancing as a way of life. They will inherit it. And when they're in public places, they will inherit closing their mouth, closing their faces and all that. And before you know it, the fashion world will take over all of these things. Showing to you designer hand glove, designer facial mask, and all of those things. And people will turn it into some kind of craze. Just like you turn stay home and isolation into some kind of craze instead of you to subscribe to some online courses or even get yourself busy with some books to change your life. All you do is the facial challenge, book challenge, music challenge, and all those things. And I begin to wonder, when are you going to wise up? Are these the leaders of tomorrow? When are the people who are ruling you right now hand over the M of power to you? When this is what you use every moment to be able to look inward yourself and challenge yourself for challenges, this challenge. Oh, etiwa challenge. You are physically and mentally challenged. You don't know that you people are physically and mentally. The children, an African child is always looking for what is reigning and what is trending on internet, just to belong, not to find themselves, not to be who they are. You are mentally and physically challenged. If you are one of those people taking part in all those challenges, this is the time that the planet Earth is giving to you to find yourself, define yourself, know who you are, and know what you are going to come out of this isolation to do. But you are busy doing challenge for musical artists, twerking on Instagram, making a mess out of your life, and you want to be the leaders of tomorrow. Who will put you in the place of leadership if this is the way you live your life? And then they brought about the conspiracy theory of connecting 5G with coronavirus, and you follow them. You follow them to also join in. Anything on the line now. You know, this is the way you guys started with SIM card. When SIM card came, you said, it's going to collect our number. It's the mark of CCC. When BVN came, the same thing. When they gave you ATM card, you said the same thing. Social security number that you are saying, no. Your pastors and your clergies are struggling to have social security number in abroad right now as you speak. Now we are talking about vaccine, and you said, CCC is to come. CCC, loma pani bene. Because you guys frustrate me, and you are appalling. And when we try to say these things, all you know is this one Twitter, that one Twitter. When are we going to read from you? Must you do what people say? Must your life be all about burning your data to hear what others are saying? Even if it is not true. Even if it is not true. Why can't you just make researches for yourself? Why can't you just make researches for yourself? Now the research is on the 5G. I needed to do the research so that I don't come and be blabbing. I went online all over the midnight while people are snoring. I was studying up on 5G. I would have been mentioning something like spectrum and all that, but me, I want a layman to understand this thing. I was studying up after having studied about it, because I read computer science in the university. That was my first degree. I need to now break it down to the point whereby an average person would be able to understand it. This is what it takes to be a leader, not all those copy and paste kind of broadcasts that you guys move around with, and your pastor use your head for. I saw Chris Oyakilome online yesterday saying the one who went to arrest a pastor for flouting the order of the nation is in danger. It's like I should slap him at the mic to fall off his face. So if your leader is not taking you for granted, your pastor are taking you for granted. If the reformers are not doing it, the religious leaders are doing it. If the activists are not doing it, somebody is still there somehow to just take you for granted at all costs, and you allow them to mess with your brain, to finger your brain, to mess up with your head on things you can just find out. If you don't understand, ask now. Is it not your Bible that says, ask and you shall be given? Seek, you shall find. What are you seeking? What are you seeking? So I'm just trying to say to every average Nigerian out there that come, this thing is not making sense anymore. We cannot train up our children like this. You can't be a woman and be a follow woman and expect yourself to raise a leader. We need your children to take over the helm of power tomorrow, but this is the way you are thinking. Useless. Old waste gone. And I'm so passionate about our women, because scientifically, scientists prove that children inherit the IQ of their mothers, not of their fathers. Children inherit the IQ of their mothers. Look at our children who are females, who will be the mothers of tomorrow's leaders. They are twerking on IG. They are begging for giveaway. Gather 2 million of them. Only 2 understand what we are talking about right now. The only set of people they follow are people who are doing giveaway. And they do this giveaway. They tell you to twerk, to go naked for 50,000, 10,000, sometimes 1,000 naira. And you are willing to do it. And I feel like crying for my nation, Nigeria. Why would they not tell you that coronavirus is caused by 5G and you will not follow? I don't understand. So please, do not be one of those people who are propagating the gospel of 5G is causing coronavirus. Someone is scared. America is scared. America is losing out to China. And it's so unfortunate that America is here, China is here, you are here. They are now passing their nonsense over your head. So majority carry the vote. It's in this country you are. When CNN said Nigeria was ready for coronavirus, And I raised alarm. I said, federal government has paid CNN to talk nonsense. They are talking in the nonsense. They are talking in the rubbish. I told you that time. You refused to listen to me. Now coronavirus, real coronavirus is in Nigeria. The same federal government is online begging for ventilator. The one that CNN said is ready. Begging for ventilator. In China, where they handle this thing very well, people are relapsing back. You know, virus don't get cured. You can only manage it by boosting your immune system, right? The same Lagos State government discharged 11 people a few days ago. I said, which time did they admit that they are discharging them now? You will see, you are just discharging people to go and infect more people. You are discharging people to, because I just wish you know these guys are just messing with your life because of money. The higher rate of the COVID that they record, the more money they have access to. And unfortunately, they are going to be fine. You are going to die. I don't think I have more words to say. I'm becoming emotional right now, but it's unfair to be a Nigerian in this time in history. It's unfair to be a Nigerian at this time of history. Just share with people and let them understand. Let them understand. At least if you know the truth, spread it to others. Namaste.